Hi everybody, it's Tricia, Knitted Lady. How's everybody doing? I'm coming to you from a different room today. I'm in my bedroom. And you can see some of my books over there. Also, I have a print from the old Warner Brothers store. It's, I don't know the proper name when they take something from one of the cartoons. It's the a tribute to Mel Black, who used to voice the Bugs Bunny cartoons and everything. I had bought that years ago, so I always liked cartoons. It's one of my favorite things. And did you like the music I start out with? That's one of my favorite classical pieces. It's, I do like classical music. I like a lot of different kinds of music, but I was raised with classical music, and I do have my favorites. And this is by Antonin Dvorak. I don't even know if I'm saying his right name first, but Serenade for Strings in E Major, Opus 22. Always like that. I like a lot of the, what they call the, oh dear. Now I'm drawing a blank. Romantic. More of them romantic composers. It's in that romantic era. Even though I do like some of the modern stuff. You know, I like a little bit of everything. I'm not real big on, why do I bring up these topics if I can't think of the name of it? I'll probably think of it later on. In the middle of my discussion, I'll go, that's what I was thinking of. Anyway, it's the older music. I know it's like before Bach. Chamber music. That's it. I'm not crazy about chamber music, but you know, still, if someone invited me to a live concert, chamber music, I would go because I love to hear live music. So I have this shawl around me. Let me let me show you. This is a Reyna, and this yarn is from Knitting Fever, and I forget what yarn it was. I had bought it a few years ago at my friend's store. She has a craft store in Glenwood, New York, which is part of Queens. It's right near Ridgewood. You know, New York has all the different boroughs have these little villages. And she's in Glenwood. It's Cook's Crafts. And Michelle is the owner. She has all kinds of crafts in her store. We used to meet there to knit or do our different crafts once or twice a week. We used to sit in her back room. Of course, we always had to order something to eat too. She had a good Italian place near her. They had the best meatball sandwiches. I love good meatball sandwiches. I don't make good meatballs. I don't know why I can't get the hang of it, but I can't get that. I just can't. You know, they don't turn out moist enough. I know there's a trick to it. Not a trick, but I'm missing that one method. I can make good lasagna. And I make my own sauce, but I just don't do well with meatballs. So she's on Instagram, Michelle, and it's Cook's Crafts. If anybody's in that area, look her up. But she has all kinds of yarns there, and I've bought several things from Michelle. Unfortunately, I don't live there anymore. So I always give a shout out to Michelle because she's such a good person. So well, let me see. Where's my affirmation book? I had it before. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Jeez, I like to be prepared. Yesterday, I mentioned that the affirmation for today was courage. But the affirmation for tomorrow, which will be the 30th, is good deeds. And talk about the importance of faith and morality is, in the end, just talk. Isn't that true? A lot of people talk, but they don't act on it. It's what we do that matters. Virtually every religion has some version of the golden rule. Behave towards others as you'd like them to behave towards you. Given this fact, it's surprising how seldom we see the golden rule in action. What one thing can I do today that will directly reflect my beliefs? So that's the affirmation for tomorrow, the 30th. Today is the 29th. And it's the birth date of Harriet Tubman, 1820 to 1913. And I know they're trying to replace Andrew Jackson on a $20 bill with her portrait. I don't have a problem with that. I know people are raising a fuss. I have my issues with Andrew Jackson. I've mentioned that before. Harriet Tubman did a lot of good in her lifetime. January 29th, 1845, Edgar Allan Poe's poem, The Raven, was first published in the New York Evening Mirror. Always liked that poem. I've always liked works by Edgar Allan Poe as well. I don't know if you've seen that movie, The Raven, with Vincent Price and Peter Lorre. It's been a while I've seen it, but I enjoyed it when I saw it. And there are 100,000 miles of blood vessels in a adult human body. We have a lot of blood. Except they say most of our body is water. Isn't that true? And which deli meat is named for Italian city that is home to the oldest university in Europe? And that would be Bologna. Except the city is called Bologna. I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's Italy's 7th largest city, and the university was established in 1088 AD. Amazing, huh? I've never been to that city. Like I mentioned before, I'd like to go back to Italy and visit other regions that I haven't been to. And on this day, in 1843, William McKinley, who was the 25th American president, was born. He was the first to ride in an automobile. He was born in Niles, Ohio. And the automobile was the Stanley steamer. And it ran, I guess it ran a lot on steam. I'm not sure. You know, they did note in the stuff that I read that he was a little afraid to ride in it because of that, because he thought the car was going to explode. And did you know that McKinley portrait was on a $500 bill? I never saw a $500 bill. Ben Franklin's face is on the $100 bill, but I never saw a $500 bill. But the last $500 bill was printed in 1934 with his likeness. So I guess there's a reason, because they might not be in circulation anymore, or they're very rare. There was a mountain named after McKinley, Mount McKinley, but it was later changed back to its original name, Denali. That's in Alaska. I've been to Mount Denali. In fact, I went up in a small plane and flew around the mountain. It's huge. It needs to be Denali after the original people that are in the area, the Native Americans. That's what they call the mountain. And unfortunately, McKinley was assassinated. He was shot twice in the torso on September 6, 1901, while he was greeting guests at Buffalo, New York, during the Pan American Exposition. He did show kindness to the person who shot him, saying, "Do not hurt him." He died 8 days later on September 14, 2001, just 6 months into his second term as president. Trouble was they could not find the second bullet. Thomas Edison sent over an x-ray machine, but they did not use it, thinking that McKinley's condition was improving. Unfortunately, gangrene set in, and that's what led to his death. Sad, huh? I have a problem. I was in an accident years ago, and I'm missing part of my index finger. That's why I cannot. People say, why don't you teach people to knit or crochet or do videos? No. I think it would upset some people if they saw my hand. Maybe not, but I might do a video showing why I can't do certain cast-on stitches, and that will be a comedy video. I used to belong to the knitting guild here, and one of the girls was showing how to do this twisted cast-on or whatever. And every time I tried it, because a lot of people will wrap the yarn around their index finger on their left hand if they're right-handed, and it kept slipping off and slipping off. And the girls around me, we were all laughing, and the girl was showing us how to do it. She thought we were laughing at her, and I said to her, "No, we're not laughing at you. We're laughing at my stupid hand because it won't cooperate." So there's certain cast-ons I cannot do because I don't have the. Plus, I've had, oh geez, how many operations have I had on this hand? At least 3. So I don't have the nerves have been hurt, damaged a bit. So I don't have the feeling sometimes in this hand. I just can't hold things as well as I used to. The strength in this hand is much better than the strength in this hand. I can still do things. I can still play the piano. Not that I'm a great pianist, trust me. But I never fully recovered using my hand 100%. And it was a shame at the time because I used to be ambidextrous. I could use both hands equally. But after that, I had my dominant hand is my right hand. I had the hardest time bowling because I always bowled with my left hand. And I wasn't a bad bowler. So I had to learn how to bowl with my right hand. Hey, things happen. I recovered. I'm alive. Fairly good health. So, things just happen. No, you get by. You compensate. Things I had to learn to compensate. So, but unfortunately, after the, I think it was after the first operation or something, the way the finger wasn't healing properly and gangrene was setting in, so it had to go in and operate again. So I've seen what that looks like. It's not pretty. And if you don't catch it in time, I'm sure it's really hard to cure, or not cure, you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm not a nurse. For anybody out there who's a nurse or works in medical, you could explain it a lot better than me. Of course, you could explain it. I can't explain it at all. But anyway, the second operation helped with that. Then I needed skin graft, but things happen. And I watched them do it, too. See, I have no problem. I have no problem watching that stuff. To a point. No. I used to watch all the stuff on TV when they had the ER and people would come in with weird things happening to them. Certain things I couldn't watch, but most of it I could. Blood doesn't bother me. Unless it's my son. When he was little, or one time he needed stitches, and I had a hard time dealing with that. I mean, I remember sat there and while he was getting stitches, and I kept trying to look away. But yeah, when they gave me stitches or did whatever, I was like, okay, no problem. See, my mother always said I could have been a nurse. I don't think so. But anyway, do any of you have an Ollie's near you? I know there's one here in Wilmington. But I saw my ad for Ollie's today. And not only do they have copper gloves, they have a copper face protector. It's copper infused and breathable. Interesting. And they had Jelly Bellies, but it's Jelly Bellies, slightly imperfect Jelly Bellies called Belly Flops. And they have the same flavors, but I guess they're slightly imperfect. So I'm going to have to check that out because I do like jelly beans. I have a sweet tooth, and once in a while I just want something sweet. And if I buy jelly beans, I can just eat a couple of them and I'm okay. And plus I eat fruit. But I have to watch my sweets because I'm pre-diabetic. Hey, such is life. Could always be worse. So I'm going to have to check out those belly flops. I don't know about the copper face protector. I'll have to look at that. So that's about it. My week coming up is going to be crazy. We'll see how often I can do a video. I just want to make people smile and laugh. That's all. Because we all need that. So take care, everybody. Have a good Saturday night. Bye.